me again, the Muffin Man. And today we're going to make a peach cobbler in a Dutch oven. Dutch ovens are a pretty useful tool when you're out cooking and camping. You can cook a variety of things with them. There's a couple of different ways to make cobblers. We're going to take the more traditional route with pie crust on the bottom, pie crust on the top, with a filling in the middle. The first step is going to be to get the pie crust on the bottom of the Dutch oven. Dutch oven should be good and oiled. I already oiled this one up. So to place the pie crust in there, simply unroll it or roll it out. Then you'll lay it down in the bottom of the Dutch oven, taking time to fill any holes that might have occurred. Once you get it lined around the edge, we'll take a knife and cut that excess off. And then we'll start working on the filling. So the filling for the traditional peach cobbler is going to have a quarter of a cup of melted butter, a little more than a quarter of a cup of heavy whipping cream. We've got 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Start off with, we'll mix the sugar in there, get it all mixed up, and then we'll add the heavy cream. At this point I've got the sugar, cinnamon, and peaches all mixed up together. I'm going to add the quarter of a cup of heavy whipping cream. Stir that in. I've added the melted butter already, and then we will pour it in the top of the Dutch oven. So we get it mixed up good. We got the crust on the bottom of the Dutch oven, so I'll pour this filling in, smooth it out across the top to kind of level it out, and then we'll make a lattice crust. Now I'm going to begin to make the top crust for our peach cobbler. We're going to slice this into about 1-inch strips with a knife on a cutting board. This is a pre-made pie crust bought from the store. You can also make homemade pie crust. Either one works. So to start the lattice work, you start with the middle, lay a strip across, grab the next biggest piece, lay it across that way. The next one we're going to lay across, we'll go across the top of that one, and we will get this side. At this point we're going to roll this one up, so that we can then lay a strip of pie crust down here and roll that side back down, and we shall get this side next. We'll flip this end up as well along with this end and lay a strip right there. We'll lay a strip right there. We can grab these two ends, lay a piece across here, and the last little bitty piece and go right in there. Alright, so we've got my egg wash here. Slowly just run across everything with a really light layer. Once we get done with that, we're going to sprinkle some sanding sugar across the top, which will give it a little sweetness when you crunch into the very top, or bite into the very top. So we got our egg wash on. Put some sanding sugar across the top. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. I've got 14 coals, roughly the size of the bottom of the Dutch oven, laying in the bottom of this pan. I'm going to put the Dutch oven with the cobbler in it on top of those, and then I will carefully, with tongs and gloves, line the outer ring with about 20 or so briquettes. and put 6 or 7 in the middle. Every 10 minutes, we rotate the top of the lid clockwise, the Dutch oven itself. Counterclockwise to help it heat evenly while we're cooking. It's been about 30 minutes, so we're going to rotate it one more time. And before we go let it start cooking again, we're going to take the lid off to see what it looks like. Of course, when taking the lid off, we want to be careful to not dump the coals in. It's starting to brown up pretty nicely, so probably 5 more minutes. That'll be it. It's been about 5 minutes. Take the lid off the cobbler one more time to look at it. My fancy handle on the right way. Oh yeah, it's a lovely golden brown. Pull it off the coals. I'll set the Dutch oven upwind and lift the lid up and dump the coals into my temporary fire pit. Now that the cobbler is done, brought it inside, we can take the lid off and serve it. See, it's nice and brown, nice and done. Nice little serving. Make sure you get some of the crust on the bottom. If you've got ice cream available, it also is really tasty with warm cobbler. And I think you would enjoy it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there's other ways you can make cobblers. There's a lot of recipes out there. I'll publish a few on the website. One of the easier ways to make cobbler, and this is a cherry cobbler, get a couple of cans of cherry pie filling, pour those into the Dutch oven, layer it with a layer of yellow cake mix, white cake mix. Then you can take a stick of butter and slice it into small pieces and spread that evenly across the top and bake it at 350 degrees for 30 or 45 minutes. That'll also make it really lovely cobbler. A little bit easier on the upfront making, about the same as far as cleanup goes. One thing I will say about cooking with a Dutch oven, I use charcoal briquettes today. I generally use charcoal briquettes. They're a little bit easier to control the temperature. There's a number of places you can go for calculating how many briquettes you need on the top or the bottom of a certain size Dutch oven for a certain temperature. So today is the 12-inch Lodge Dutch oven. The Lodge Dutch oven have feet on the bottom of them, and the feet on the bottom allow the charcoal briquettes to fit snugly underneath the bottom of the Dutch oven.